Yes, people, I'm Srini and you are watching MTAG TV. Of course, I'm joined by my guys Arnav, Adi, and Ritvik in the building, and I'm super gassed tonight because we're covering the Champions League, man. It is the elite competition, and tonight, of course, we're going to cover two really elite games. We're going to react to the lineups as well because, of course, it is Liverpool versus Real Madrid, and it is Borussia Dortmund versus these guys right here. So, yeah, it's going to be a massive, massive night for Champions League football. So we're going to read the lineups for you guys first of all. Let's go to the Liverpool one first, and I'm going to read that out. Of course, there's Allison in goal. There's Trent Alexander-Arnold, so that's good news for Madrid. There's Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak in the center of defense. Robertson starting at left back. In midfield, they've gone for Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum and James Milner. And up front, they've gone for the classic Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Bobby Firmino trident, which is a bit controversial because Diego Jota sits out. So I doubt are these too happy about that. But Ritvik, read the Madrid lineup for them, bro.
Yeah, so for Madrid, obviously it's Thibaut Courtois in goal with Eder Militao and Nacho in the center defense. Ferland
Yeah.
Mendy plays on the left back, but there's a surprising change in Mr. Versatile on the right back. We have Franco Valverde, who's played as a center midfield throughout his career, but he's so versatile, he's playing on the right back today. We have Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos in the mid, with Benzema leading the line and Asensio and Vinicius on the wings. So that's pretty strong from Madrid, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man, that sounds like a great lineup. Guys, City Dortmund as well. Let's read the lineups. And by the way, people stay on the live because we are reading the lineups for you in case you've missed it. So, Adi, Dortmund are the home team. What's the lineup?
Well, Dortmund, good lineup. Hits in goal. More, Akanji, Hummels, and Guerrero in backline. Chan,
Yeah.
Dahoud, and Bellingham in midfield. And surprisingly, again, Noff starts as a forward along with Reus and Haaland.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually Nauf's inclusion is quite surprising, but we'll get on to that. Arnav, what's the City lineup? Wow, and on cue, Arnav has dipped. It's okay. Things happen, guys. I'll read the City
That's what
lineup out.
happens. That's what happens when you're not in the Champions League. You dip just like
Yeah,
that.
man, the Europa, man. We didn't want that smoke. But anyway, the City lineup is Edison starts in goal. Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, and Alexander Zinchenko. A surprise that Cancelo is not starting such a big game, but it is what it is. Classic Pep. Rodri starting, of course, as a defensive midfielder. Gundogan and Bernardo Silva in front of him. Kevin De Bruyne starting as a false nine, and Phil Foden and Riyad Mahrez on either wing. So, it's a bit of a surprising lineup. But firstly, of course, wait, Arnav is back to the stream. Arnav didn't want that smoke. He's a United fan. He can't handle the Champions League.
I'm back. I'm back.
He's used to the Europa League. Anyway, we read the lineup, but we're gonna cover Liverpool versus Real Madrid first. Adi, I'm gonna go to you first for obvious reasons. I know you're absolutely petrified. Off camera, you were telling me how you didn't want to wear your wake because you didn't want that smoke tonight. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to be something like a Beyblade. It's going to be a horror show. But anyway, jokes aside, what do you make of that lineup? Because there's no Diego Jota.
Well, more than Diego Jota, I'm surprised Thiago isn't starting. I'm really surprised Milner's in there. Probably Klopp's that efficiency in the field, which when you're chasing a Champions League tie, 2 goals down to Madrid at home, what are you thinking? I mean, why would you not have someone as world-class as Thiago? He left him out in the last game as well against Madrid. Started Naby Keita. We saw how that turned out. Keita subbed up after 40 minutes. And secondly, I have no idea why Sadio Mane is starting. You would have assumed that Firmino would get dropped, but he had a great game against Villa. So he definitely had to start. And Diego Jota is probably our most informed player, and I have no clue how he's on the bench. Honestly, I'm fuming right now. I cannot believe this is the team we put out against Madrid at home. But, I mean, what do you do?
This is quality content right here. I think you should rant and, moan and throw something so that we can make a bag like AFTV. But let's go to Arnav for this one. Sorry, Ritvik, you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a take on why Liverpool might have lined up like this. It's because if you look at the squad, it's mostly filled with players that have already won the Champions League. And in games like these, tactics don't really play much. I know tactical analysis and all that happens. People want the tactics. But look at the Barca game, okay? They didn't have anyone and they didn't win it through tactics. That was just pure sheer determination, as Roy Keane says. And maybe Klopp is just out of his tactics. He just wants to put his trusted players there.
Thiago's won a Champions League.
He's not won it with Liverpool. He's not won it with Liverpool. I don't support it. I'm not saying I support it. I'm just trying to analyze why he's come up with this team. So that's my take on it.
Sorry, yeah. Well, Ritwik trying to play devil's advocate, but he's absolutely throwing shots right there. What a start to the live, guys. By the way, you're lucky to witness greatness like this. But Arnav, I'll go to you for this one. What do you think about the whole Thiago shout? Because of course, Thiago is someone who's divided opinion. Some people think that he's still an amazing midfielder. Some people think that he's not been able to adapt to Liverpool style. So, what do you make of his absence? And of course, Diego Jota as well, who is Liverpool's most informed player.
I'm as shocked as Adi, if I'm being honest. I
Okay.
think Thiago's these are the games for which you buy somebody like Thiago. You've seen Kroos ping those balls in, and I'm not saying he's as good as Kroos, but Madrid's defense is just as suspect, right? If he can find say Salah or Mane over Valverde, who's not even used to the right back role, so I'm genuinely surprised. The only reason I feel Milner starting over him is probably for the legs. Maybe Liverpool want to press high. They need more energy in the midfield. And Jota, I can't even find a legitimate reason to not start Jota over Mane. Mane is having he was quiet against Madrid. He's been quiet the entire season. He's a class player, but form is not by his side. So I don't really get the changes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more as well. And I won't even go as far to say that he's been quiet. I think he's just had a really, really poor season. But let's focus on Madrid as well. We've talked about Liverpool. We've talked about the surprising changes. And Ritwik, as you pointed out, Valverde is starting at right back. Like, that is absolutely mental. I know the guy can do everything, but I think they're pushing it a little. So, what do you make of that 11, man? They have such a huge advantage. What do you make of their chances and what Zidane has gone for tonight?
Well, I feel it's theirs to lose, obviously, and
Yeah.
unpopular opinion, but I think Valverde is going to do a very good job at right back just because of how much he runs, and he's used to playing on the right wing, but it's just and he is good with his tackles. He's a good midfielder. He's a very complete midfielder, and I think he is a good choice. I mean, who plays there? Asensio plays there usually. The last game, Asensio played there, right?
Lucas Vasquez.
Lucas Vasquez. Yeah, Vasquez isn't a defender. Let's be honest. I think Valverde can do a much better job in tackling and marking players than Lucas Vasquez. Yes,
Adi, you wanted to
Yeah,
go
just
for it?
that's a good point by Rithik. I think Valverde is, I think he's more versatile, one of the most versatile players in the Madrid squad. Vasquez is as well, and I think the fact that since Vasquez is injured, it's a big blow. And rather than put someone like Odriozola, who's less experienced in Europe, you'd rather put Valverde. He's good defensively. He has the legs. He runs up and down, and like any position. So I think he will get the job done today. I was hoping for Odriozola to start. We could have targeted that wing, but yeah, scary now. Scary.
Yeah, I mean, I actually totally agree with Ritwik as well. From a Madrid point of view, Federico Valverde is so versatile, and I think he'll actually have the legs to, not even from a defensive point of view, but from an offensive point of view, I think he'll have the legs to actually burst past, the press that Liverpool are going to have, because they're going to be relentless in those first 10, 15 minutes. And, if he does do that, as we saw for the first goal that Madrid scored against Barca as well, he was so crucial in sort of making sure that break happens. So I think he's going to do a great job. And none of us knew that Vasquez could play that role so well, but he has. So why can't Valverde? And apart from that, I think there's no surprises with that lineup. That midfield is just so elite. Adivi's favorite, Tony Kroos, is prepping for another masterclass. Casemiro is someone who'd, put his body on the line for such games. So yeah, man. Overall, Karim Benzema as well, with his, his drip-related videos and his goals on the pitch and off them. I mean, the guy is just an absolute gunman. So just if you look at Madrid as a whole, they're just such a great side. And even with all the injuries that they've had, they still look favorites for two competitions. So fair play to them. But there's a couple of interesting comments, guys. Ronaldo123 rocks. I'm not going to put your comment on the screen, but you need to chill out. I mean, you're a legend, but your comments are so tough to read, man. I'll be honest. And I'm not going to read it, but it's a legendary comment, and everyone should look at it. It's the most important comment in this live. Manav Kohli, very nice of you, Manav, saying, "What's up, boys? What's up? Adi looking good." An early compliment for Adi right there, but his team's not going to be looking good tonight. Aditya Gokhale saying, "Liverpool fans threw rocks at the Madrid bus and broke a few windows. Shameful." Wow, I was not aware of that. That is actually
I'm
shameful.
not even surprised.
Wow. Best fans
The
in the world.
Dortmund
Best.
fans, the Dortmund fans did something similar as well, close to City's hotel. I mean, I don't condone that. Adi does because, well, I don't know why Adi does.
Because
Sanjay,
he's a Liverpool fan himself.
What a
Liverpool
shameless
fans,
club. That's what I would say.
Liverpool fans always do this. Remember the City game where they threw rocks? I don't know what
They're
all they did to the
shameless.
bus. Yeah, they're absolutely shameless.
Guys, if you're in the comments and you support Liverpool, just type a comment saying I'm shameless. I just want to see who does that. No, but I'm kidding around. Let's look at a couple of other comments. Gaurav Pratap Singh with an actual football related comment. Gaurav should get a prize for this. Milner is much more hardworking than Thiago. Many key passes that Real Madrid made were without pressure. Milner brings that. Don't sleep on him. Remember his contribution during the LFC comeback versus Barcelona. So I'll go to Adi for this one. He's making a face, so he obviously doesn't agree with that. But do you think Milner's industry is something that's going to be huge in this time?
That's actually a very good point by Gaurav, I must say. I know he has a big football brain, so shout out to him. Yes, he is more hardworking, but does he have that ability to unlock a defense with like that final third pass compared to like Thiago? No, he doesn't. Against Madrid, we were really sloppy. Gini Malaran gave away so many balls. They weren't even pressing us, and we were giving away to them like a present. That's what needs to change this game. Is Milner the man to do that? No, not for me. So really, I don't think there's anything that justifies him being picked apart from the legs. Ritik, I'll just come to you in a second.
Yeah.
But I think Thiago's going to be the bigger miss, basically, in the bigger picture today. Ritik, you want to add something?
I actually don't completely agree with you on that because I feel Milner will mark Toni Kroos today and he'll prevent him from not just playing the balls in behind, but also linking up with Modric and Casemiro, which is very, very important for Madrid's build-up. And I think he'll force him wide where Liverpool are strong enough to, Sadio Mane, he can track back. He goes, if you force Madrid wide, then Liverpool has a chance of, making the most out of their strengths, which is wide play in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, Mane, and whatever. So I just think it's not the most non-sensible decision, I'd say.
That's true. I just want to add to that. Yes, he might knock Toni Kroos out of the game, but keep in mind that Madrid also have Modric and Casemiro in their team. So the fact that you're marking one of the midfield three, you should have two world-class players that still will have that space to roam. It's not like Thiago doesn't press. He's actually very good defensively. And coming back to Gaurav's point about Milner's contribution against Barcelona, he did a better job because he had to fill in at left back when Robertson got injured at halftime. Our host has disappeared, but anyway, he did a better job.
Day of people disappearing.
At left back, but Arnav, do you want to add anything quickly on the approach that Liverpool are going to go through?
I personally, Gaurav's made another comment about Robertson going forward, and I agree with him. I think Robertson had a fairly quiet game against Madrid last time around. To be honest, the whole Liverpool didn't really cause too much troubles for Madrid, but I'd like to see Robertson get forward more, and I think that right side is there for the taking. Just like Liverpool, I think Madrid's Achilles heel is their right side, and you've got to target that. You've got to get Robertson and Mane going on. Asensio, who is not the best defensively in terms of discipline, and again Valverde, who's not used to the role. What do you think, Adi?
Just coming on to Madrid from their approach, Arnav, what is their key area? People assume it's midfield, but don't you think the defense has to step up today, considering it's probably one of the weakest backlines you could have ever picked for Madrid?
I think the defense has done fairly well in the game, even in the El Clasico, and they won two big games in the absence of Ramos and Varane. And even though they're backup defenders, but Militao and Nacho are no newbies. They're decently experienced, at least more experienced than Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak. As far as Madrid's approach is concerned, I don't think Zidane needs to change too much from the first leg. I personally wouldn't want, if I was Zidane, I wouldn't want to sit back and just contain the lead, because I think Liverpool is there for the taking again. So go ahead, try and get a couple of goals, put the game to bed. Don't try and take the game into the second half without getting a goal, because that would be costly. We've seen Liverpool do it before. So I wouldn't park the bus. What do you think, Ritvik?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't park the bus either, because that's just not how Zidane usually plays, and he wouldn't want to deviate away from that. If he has a 3-1 lead, he'll have the confidence to maybe even take more risks, and that might pay off because they have world-class players on the pitch. and those world class players are very much capable of defending this lead. It's going to take a miracle from Liverpool. I don't see it happening, and I think Madrid's key player again has to be Karim Benzema and Toni Kroos. Both of them, the work they put in, they'll obviously do their job. They perform week in week out. I haven't seen a bad game from either of them, but I think the most important part for Liverpool has to be with their back line and how they track back, because they're going to press like they're going to play gung-ho football. They're going to go all out. They're going to press the hell out of Madrid. And yeah, it's only Trent Alexander-Arnold has to track back. And it's even if he doesn't, Ozan Kabak and Nat Phillips really have to cover in for him, which they haven't been doing. It's not, I don't want to blame Trent. I don't blame Trent because Trent's always been like this. It's more down to the other centre backs who don't fill in properly. But what do you think, Adi? Do you think a miracle can happen today? Honestly,
that's a good. Arnav actually had a point. Arnav, I just want to quickly take your point, and then I'll take Ritik's question after. Arnav, go.
Yeah. I think we've discussed Madrid's approach. I wanted to ask you how you would like Liverpool to approach this game. What kind of plan would you have in mind?
So, two things. So, firstly, Ritik's question: do I think we're going to make the comeback? I'm going to say no very openly. Two factors, because number one, our fans are not there. Every single European comeback that we've had, when teams come to Anfield, our fans blow them away. There's that whole cliche about us sucking the ball into the net at the Kop end. Because we don't have our fans tonight, I think we are the team that has suffered the most in this pandemic as a result of having no fans in a stadium. And I can see Arnav smiling, but that's a fact. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference today. The fact is that we don't play amazing football when we make those comebacks against Borussia Dortmund in the Europa League. That comeback against Barcelona, we didn't play great tactical football. We played gung-ho football, and our crowd. Okay, our host is back.
He's back.
Our host is back.
Back to the bang. Yes, you thought you would count me out. I'm back. What are we talking about, guys? Fill me in.
I'm just covering Liverpool's point quickly, and then you can
We're
come back
still
in.
on Gaurav's question. Gaurav, chill out, man. Don't ask such dangerous questions about Milner and Thiago. These guys get triggered. But what were we talking about? Sorry, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I don't think that Liverpool are going to qualify as purely based on the fact that we don't have fans in the stadium to support them. But I've gone on for that a bit. And yeah, Srini, take it away.
Wow, man. Okay, I've got to think on my feet. Okay, what should I ask? Okay, guys, what do you think the approach should be for the game tonight? Arnav, I'll go to you for this one. Because, if Liverpool go gung-ho, once again, you don't give Toni Kroos space, and that's a good thing. But if you do, Toni Kroos is going to do what Toni Kroos does. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think one of the two has to be dealt with. So if you're going to play a high line, then you can't give somebody like a Toni Kroos or a Modric time and space on the ball. And if you're going to give them a lot of space on the wall, then you've got to have a low block, which I don't think will be possible now that they're chasing a game. So I think they need to be putting a lot of pressure on Kroos and Modric. The Liverpool midfield has a job to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. Adi, what do you think? Do you think they should go gung-ho this time around, or do you not think that's the approach and they should play in phases? What do you think?
Hopefully, Liverpool get an early goal. I think that definitely changes the face of the game. If we get an early goal, Liverpool will continue their gung-ho football. But the thing is, when they don't, and let's say a 20-25 minute period has passed by and Liverpool aren't getting the goal, Liverpool get frustrated. So they don't think, oh wow, we haven't scored next. We haven't scored yet. We have to work harder. For them, it's like, oh man, we haven't scored yet. Are we really going to get that goal? And that's what I feel. Right. We need a goal in that opening 10-15 minutes, like we did against Barcelona 2 years ago. And unless an early goal comes, I don't see us doing too much damage. Ritik?
Yeah, I wanted to say that more important than Liverpool scoring an early goal is them not conceding at all. Because if they concede, the game is over. Even if they don't score a goal till the half mark, maybe, we can see a comeback in the second half. They can go all guns blazing. They can get Thiago, Jota from the bench with fresh legs, maybe. But if they concede a goal early on, it's out. It's done. Done and dusted for them. That's what I think.
Srini, Ritvik talked about not conceding from Liverpool's point of view. How important do you think is an away goal for Madrid, and how do you think he's going to have that in his approach? Zidane is going to have that in his approach, getting an away goal.
Obviously, if you get an away goal, that obviously finishes the fixture off. So I think that goes without saying that it's very important. But at the same time, I think Madrid, because they have the lead, I don't think they need to go gung ho at all. I think they should follow the same sort of philosophy or strategy or whatever word you want to use that they did against Barca. They played really deep. Barca are the ones who pressed them high, and someone like Luka Modric in particular was dictating the game. And the strikers, especially Vinicius Junior on the wing, is someone who is making those runs in behind. And if Trent bombs forward, and because there's no Henderson to cover his space, that's going to cause them a lot of problems once again. So I think Real Madrid should wait, be patient, and make sure they kill them. So that's my point. But guys, we have another game to cover as well. Enough of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and all this talk. So let's give our quick predictions. Let's go to Adi for this one. How do you see it going, bro?
I'm gonna go for 1-0 Liverpool, but that's not enough to see us through. I think we should get a win, hopefully, but yeah, don't see us going through. And I think this is the end of our European fairy tale, sadly, and Europa League next year.
Wow, man, that is grim, but it sounds like music to my ears for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, Arnav, how do you see the game going once again? Predictions?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be a little cagey, even though Liverpool are going to go gung-ho as we've all predicted. But I think it's going to end in a 1-1 draw, both teams scoring. Ritvik, what do you think?
1-1 draw. Ritvik.
I think Liverpool are going to win, but 2-1. I think Madrid are going to get that away goal. Liverpool are going to play much better than what they did last time round. They're going to get the goals. They're at Anfield, but I don't see them go through. It's Madrid with an away goal and a 2-1 win for Liverpool.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I'll be honest, guys. I have no prediction, so I'm just going to make it up on the spot. Let's just go for 1-1 because who cares? And Real Madrid are going through. Adi is going to be sad. They're going to be in the Europa, and life is good. But anyway, we've covered this game, and I'm bored of it as well. My internet gave up as well on this game. So, Adi, I think we should start talking about the game that really matters, which involves these guys in Dortmund. So, kick us off, man. Let's go.
I hate the fact that I always have two co-hosts that are City fans. It's the most.
My guy.
You just got to get used to it. Okay, so see lineups as we read before. Surprisingly, no Cancelo, even though he didn't play on the weekend. So a lot of people, there's a lot of talk about Pep pre-match that when there's a big European game, he'll make some sort of wacky change to the lineup that absolutely bottles it for them. He's gone pretty safe, very well-rounded, solid team tonight. What are your thoughts? Me, you go first.
Finally, okay. So, I mean, obviously, it's a bit of a blow that João Cancelo is not starting. I think him starting in right back, especially, is something that gives us a lot of balance. Of course, he's fantastic as a left back, but him playing as a right back and as a midfielder and as a number 6, everything, because that guy does everything, is phenomenal. But at the same time, I feel that there must be a certain reason behind this, and it's not another Pep crazy change. And Pep has gone pretty safe this time around. So yeah, I don't think we can get very nervous. Kyle Walker is going to be very solid on the right, as he usually is. Zinchenko has sort of proven his doubters wrong this season by being very solid. So can't complain, but it is something that is disappointing because Cancelo is wonderful. Ritvik, my fellow City fan and someone who annoys Adi with his City propaganda, what do you make of that?
I just think that Cancelo isn't playing because I was reading a statistic that said that Cancelo is the player in City who's been taken on the most number of times. So he's been dribbled past the most number of times, and that might be one of the reasons that Pep has picked Zinchenko with a little more of a left foot that helps him. I don't know. I don't think this is too erratic of a lineup because I really feel confident going for this. I'm going to be shameful in telling you I'm wearing my lucky underwear today.
Oh my god. Yeah,
TMI.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry, man. I'm too nervous, and we really need to win this. And yeah, I think Pep has lined up perfectly. Okay, Zinchenko, Cancelo, it's okay. I don't mind that. But apart from that, it's the same lineup as the last time round. We played brilliant football. We just need to get those goals in. And yeah, I really feel that it's coming. It's coming. We can't screw this now.
Yeah,
I mean, whether we can screw this or not, the fact that you mentioned your underwear, I think we're bound to lose now. So that's my only point. Adi, take it away.
I have a question for both of you. Are you guys still nervous given how weak this Dortmund side anyway is, considering you guys are 2-1 better off? Are you still nervous as City fans because every single year you even go out to the likes of Leo? What is your take right now? What are you feeling? Ritvik?
I'll take this. Yes, I'm very nervous because they need one play and one striker and one goal just to disrupt the entire game. And they were on the verge of that last time round. We saw what Bellingham and Haaland can do. It requires one pass. You remember the miss that Haaland made? He just he like fluffed it inside in his own lines in front of Edison. If he would have scored that, they would have been up. If Bellingham's controversial VR decision wasn't overturned, we would have been up. They would have been up. So it just requires that one little play in from the behind, and Dortmund are very good at that and are very good at the counterattacks. We really have to be at our best. I'm very nervous. I'm not going to lie. Pep hasn't gone past this stage with this team. And in the last 10 years, he hasn't won it. It just, yeah, that's what I want to say. Shri,
I'm going to come to Arnav now. I feel like Arnav's wearing yellow. You guys and your city things. I'm the only one who's not repping football culture. Next time, guys. Stay tuned.
Wear your Tony Cruz.
When you qualify the next round, semi-finals, you'll see me in my cruise. But anyway, Arnav, Dortmund side looking shaky. Their front three is obviously not the best. Sancho not fit to play. Julian Brandt also not starting. Of course, Thomas Delaney is a miss. He has an Achilles tendon problem. Big miss in midfield. What are your thoughts on Dortmund's lineup today?
I'm just going to start by saying that I'm really surprised Chan is starting again after the stinker that he had last time round. Gave the ball away for the first goal, and then he lost his man, De Bruyne. And I think that the City are going to hound him again. But apart from that, pretty much expected the rest of the lineup. And I was actually quite fascinated by how well Dortmund were pressing last time around, especially Bellingham from midfield. He scored and goal was wrongly disallowed. Yeah, credit to Srini, scout here. But Adi, what do you think? What did you make of Dortmund's pressing last time out?
I just wanted to add something. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but Daksh has made the comment of the stream. Srini, you proved us wrong. Yeah, let's just say that again. Wrong by the Jude Bellingham thing. He should be in the England 11. He's too good, man. Anyway, Adi, now you can go on.
Srini doing absolutely everything to plug himself. I love it. He's not going to the Euros. But coming to Dortmund, pressing wise, I thought they actually played a very good game tactically. Last time I was quite surprised. I predicted that City would blow them away by 3 goals or something. And they really took the game to City. City in typical European game performance, absolutely, it felt like they were crumbling slightly under the pressure. Any team that slightly takes the game to them, like you saw even against Leeds United, they can get somewhat of a result. I felt like they were really hard done by that Jude Bellingham goal that was disallowed. Srini's smirking already. Srini, I'm going to go to you quickly. Fill me in.
I'm always smirking, man. But I think that you are partly right there. Banter aside, I think that City were very sloppy. So there's that. I think Dortmund pressed really well. I think guys like Bellingham and even Mo Dawood are players who sort of spun past our midfield a lot of the time, and that was a little concerning, the way they were breaking the lines. And apart from that, I think Ruben Dias and Rodri were uncharacteristically sloppy as well on the night. So that didn't add to it. But what I was very impressed by is the fact that, even though we were sloppy, even though we conceded that late goal where Walker was ball watching a little and he lost Marco Reus, the fact that I had the belief to think that, yes, they are going to create that one big chance, which we did, and Phil Foden scored in the 90th minute. We would have crumbled otherwise, but that didn't happen. And Phil Foden, if you watch the game, did miss 2 gilt-edged chances as well. So that's where I was quite impressed. And the fact that Foden didn't even celebrate because he knew that he was due a goal in that game, I think those kinds of things really impressed me. And even us being a 5-on-10 on the night still made me think that if we don't get a win here, it's not because we are the better team traditionally, it's because we've been the better team on the night. So those are the things that impressed me, and that's why we have progressed mentally. Ritvik, you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch up on the Foden part. He was absolutely fantastic in the last game. Just the fact that we had the belief after, usually, this is our City's first ever quarterfinal lead. We've never led the first leg. We've always trailed. So that says volumes about the character of that young man, Phil Foden, who did everything in his locker to, get that goal. And when he got it, he got the 90th minute goal. That was something different I saw from us that night. Even if we didn't play the best football, we had that belief. We got that goal, which usually doesn't happen with us. So if we go down, we just lose it, and I don't know what happens. Everyone's heads drop down, and then that leads to disaster. But that didn't happen, which is a very positive thing to take on to this game. And I feel it's going to be even better today because we've already recently come back from a loss, which will motivate the players to get that win, prove everyone wrong. It's due. It's high time. that we go for it. And yeah, I think Pep will play a team in a certain manner which will not allow for those mistakes. Even the goals we conceded, even the chances we conceded were purely down to individual mistakes. So if you minimize that, we're going to play a great game. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and you mentioned mistakes. I actually wanted to ask a question to you, Dortmund boys, tonight, because you are kind of repping them tonight. Even though a comment says that Arnav is repping Chennai Super Kings, Ronaldo 1, 2, 3 dots.
I'm
He's
not. I'm
not.
not.
He is not. He clearly is not. He's a Delhi fan. Anyway, enough about the IPL. Adi, I'll go to you for this one actually. You know, Ritvik talked about mistakes, and Dortmund can't make any tonight because the stakes are so high, and they're playing arguably the best team in the world. So, how would you like to see them approach this game?
I feel like Dortmund at home are worse off than they are away from home.
Right.
At home, they've really struggled. They've dropped points to almost half the bottom half teams in the Bundesliga. And the fact that Bundesliga is called a farmers league and you're dropping points to the smaller clubs there, you're up against Manchester City. They are, no joke, they are the best side in world football right now. And I think they're going to sit deep. You have to minimize your errors, obviously. But players like Chan, like Dahu, they all have an error in them. Bellingham is, again, 17, 18. An error can come from any... It's those fine margins which are they might be the Achilles heel for Dortmund. So it's all about tactics, all about hopefully hitting them on the counter. Haaland is going to be their outlet as usual. And yeah, it's just the same story. You just got to take your 1-2 chances you get in the game, minimize your mistakes, and it's the only way you can hopefully go through.
Totally agreed. Arnav, same question to you.
Yeah, I agree with Adi there. I think he made a good point about City sort of crumbling when they're put under pressure. See, I think if you're going to sit back, not put the City team under pressure, they're too good. They're going to rip you apart sooner rather than later. But I'd like to see them take the game to Dortmund, put them under pressure. So take the game to City, sorry, put them under pressure, press them, and yes, make. Of course, there's absolutely no room for mistakes. Haaland, Reus, they've got to take their chances, get a goal, get ahead in the tie on away goals, and hopefully see it out after that.
Well, City approach for you guys. I want to go to you guys now. City approach. Where does City win it tonight? Basically, like what is your most key area and where do you target Dortmund? Who wants to go for Srini?
Yeah, so the reason why I want to go first is because I want to address the comment as well made by Dilshad. Thank you for the comment, by the way. He says, does the game plan for Pep completely go out of the window if Dortmund score first? So let me take this situation, because otherwise I'll just say the same old thing, right? If Dortmund score first, Dortmund are definitely in the driving seat. If they park the bus and, win 1-0, that's the game done. So I think what City need to do if such a thing happens is to be on the attack, but to not leave gaps, because I think they did that in the last game a lot. And I was sort of getting that sort of a throwback vibe with City with what happened with Rodri last season, where he used to leave a lot of space and, teams would counter us and we look vulnerable. And I think if there's one thing we're noticing in the Champions League, it is the fact that teams that are counter-attacking, be it PSG, be it Madrid as well, are doing really well. So if that sort of a situation happens, I think what City need to do is to not lose their heads, because they are a better coach team. They have better personnel as well. They have a better manager. Of course, they have bigger funds. So when it comes to each and every aspect, City are superior to Borussia Dortmund. So don't lose your heads, because the Champions League is a competition where fairy tales happen, but a lot of things happen that are nightmarish. A random free kick could go in, a red card could happen, a ref could mess up like they always do. So don't lose your heads. That's the approach. In general, play the game in phases and be very patient, but do not lose your heads, because that's what City do, and that's why they're the biggest bottlers out there in the Champions League. Let's be honest. So that's my take. Let's go to Ritvik for this one, my fellow City fan. What is your take on this question?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. If we concede first, I think it's a very big chance that we might bottle it. This is just purely my gut saying. I don't want us to concede. I want us to press them. And I think answering the previous question, that where the game is going to be won, I think the game is going to be won in the third of Dortmund's goal. The front third, where City will press, because that's where Chan has been sloppy. They make mistakes, and that is where we're deadly. The goal we scored, the goal that De Bruyne scored, that was purely because of Chan's mistake. And I think if that happens again, City will finish it off, and I'm hoping for that to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much my take.
Okay, guys, we're going to take some comments quickly, some serious, some not so serious. First of all, Gitansh saying, Ritvik looking cute, brother. Soumya then chiming in saying, sounding intellectual RK. And Gitansh, again, the bromance is real, saying, nice smile, Khanna. Okay, very cute, guys.
Oh,
Right.
Thanks, man.
Round of 1, 2, 3 rocks. The legend is in the house again. He says, Arnav, wishing you guys do a Europa League show live stream for his team tomorrow. Round of 1, 2, 3 rocks. I promise you from next year, we're guaranteed a Europa League show because that's what I'm going to be. Do not worry.
Facts. Facts.
Gaurav, very good comment saying City won 27 out of 28 games while rotating players. Happy to see Pep not overthinking to the point where he overthinks, basically. Do you guys want to elaborate on this a bit?
No, I think we've touched on this, honestly.
Yeah.
The fact that it's still a pretty regular team. So yeah, but good comment.
Anamay with a comment at Adi, I'm interested in what you make of Liverpool's season if they don't qualify to the semi-finals. How do you define 2021 Liverpool? If we don't make it to semi-finals, we have absolutely nothing to look forward to. This season is done. Null and void this season. Absolutely poor 5 on 10, if I can even give it that. And we just look forward to next year, get our big boys in. Simple as that.
Beautiful.
Okay. Couple more comments. Daksh says, Srini, okay, we already touched upon that.
My guy.
I think, okay, those are the only good comments for now. Next, I want to touch upon the key players for tonight. You guys tell me whoever wants to go for it. And I want to come to you first for Dortmund. Key player, simple. Who is it and why?
Enough?
Yeah,
you
for
there, buddy?
Dortmund. Yeah,
cool.
I'm back. I
Go
lost
for it,
my
go for it,
connection
go
for a second, but I'm back.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Haaland because so Dortmund need a goal today, and again, obvious choice, but he has to be the one. He had a chance last time out, absolutely bullied Diaz, lovely to see. And then Edison made a great save. I don't think it was that bad a finish. It was a great save by Edison, in my opinion. But tonight, he has to combine with the likes of Reus and Bellingham, get a goal or two, bully Diaz again. He has to be the one who you've seen an Mbappe masterclass to get PSG to the semis. If he wants to rank up to him, he needs to take Dortmund to the semis tonight.
Okay.
Key player for you, Adi?
Okay, I'll go first then. For me, Dortmund. Well, last week I said Reus would be key. He did. He scored. I think it has to be Reus or Hummels. They need to step up. They're the leaders. I've said this time and again. They do not do it on a regular basis for Dortmund, and it's incredibly frustrating. But tonight, especially to make it to a semi-final, you need those big boys, Hummels and Reus. For me, whether they don't need outlet, they need leadership. That's what Dortmund need, and I think that's why they are key. Ritvik, I'm going to come to you next. Key player for City, and you cannot say De Bruyne. Anyone else?
Oh no, I wasn't intending on saying De Bruyne either. I wanted my key player is going to be Ruben Diaz, just because he doesn't have to make mistakes. He has to mark Haaland. I think it's his most important game of the season, as well as it being the most important game of City this season. So yeah, if he manages to mark Haaland well, if he doesn't, as Arnav said, Haaland made him. He was laughing on the floor for that tackle. That does not need to happen. He needs to prove himself. He's proved himself. He needs to prove himself on the big stage and show everyone what a big leader and what a great player he is. So yeah, it has to be Ruben Diaz for me. Shri, what do you think?
Well, I'm just pinning Daksh's comment because I agree with Daksh. Phil Foden. I mean, we've talked about Ruben Diaz, and he needs to be very great defensively, like he usually is. Of course, it is a big game. But the later City score, the more confident Dortmund get, because they just need one goal to win this tie. Which is why I think Phil Foden is probably, because we don't have an actual striker, is probably our most natural finisher in this 11. And he showed that in the last game. Even though he missed 2 gilt-edged chances, he is still a young player and he scored a lot of goals this season. So we need that. If we score that one goal, I think we're in the driving seat. I think we can book our semi-final spot. But if we don't get an early goal, or not even an early goal, but just a goal in general, I think that makes Dortmund more confident and they score, and we do what we usually do. Ritvik, quickly.
Yeah, Shri, I wanted to ask you, as a fellow City fan, what do you think City are going to do? Are they going to play like they played in the second half? Are they going to play like they played in the first half, just more natural, more relaxed, not pressing as much as they usually do, what we saw? Or are they going to play their natural game, all guns blazing, putting those attacks, putting those crosses in? Because Pep really plays defensive football in the Champions League, I feel. He really tries to, mitigate all the risks, and that is his forte. That is why he overthinks. So do you think he's going to, just play defensive football, or is he going to play his natural? national game.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it short because we've got to predict the score as well. But
Yeah.
for me personally, I think that I don't agree with the fact that he plays defensive football. I think
Not
he just
defensive, but just
I don't
I wouldn't
I
say,
think
yeah.
just sorry, complete your point.
No, I was just saying it's not defensive football, but more defensive if you compare it to how they usually play.
I think that's the case in the Champions League in general because you're playing the biggest and the best teams in the world, and a little amount of pragmatism goes a long way. I don't think that City should play like they play in the second half. I just think City should make sure that the speed of pass and just how they approach the game is not at a level that is lower than it generally is. Because what tends to happen is when you have sort of pedestrian approach, the result is also such that you allow the other team to get into the game, especially a team like Dortmund. So I think they should just be balanced, play the game in phases, suss them out, and score goals. If they play pedestrian football, they lose the game. So that's my simple point. Because guys, we have to predict the game because of course we've got to watch the game as well. So Adi, I'll go to you for this one. You are very pessimistic with Liverpool, but do you have high hopes when it comes to Dortmund?
Not really. I'm going to go 3-1 City, man. Can't really see anything past that. I think Foden score one, De Bruyne, and probably Mahrez. And I think Reus will try and score a penalty, but that's about it.
Reus will try to score a penalty. Arnav, for you, do you think Haaland will bully Diaz again and Dortmund win, or do you think your rivals who are in the Champions League
Haaland gets a goal, but it's not going to be enough because as much as I wanted to happen, I think City will prove to be too strong for this Dortmund side. I'm going to go for a 2-1 City win, just as the result in the previous leg. Haaland getting one for Dortmund and Foden and Bernardo getting the goals for City. Ritvik, what's yours?
One of the very few times I completely agree with you, Arnav. I'm also going for a 2-1. With Phil Foden scoring a brace, my boy, let's get in, and Erling Haaland getting one for Dortmund. Hopefully later on after we score and not early on. Shri?
Yeah. Just to be a little different, I suppose I'll go for a 2-0 win. I'm going for a Kevin De Bruyne free kick as well, just to, put the icing on the cake. And I'm going to go for Phil Foden to score again. Same as last time, 2-0 win. Nice little clean sheet. And yeah, man, we book a spot in the semi-finals for the first time under Pep. Jesus Christ, finally. So yeah, man, that's how it's going to go down. Adi, you want to sign us off?
Yes, sir. Okay, well, you guys have 15 minutes left. You can go and watch some other pundits. Of course, we know they're not quite as good as us. So keep staying all our lives. We have a lot of videos coming, a lot of amazing content coming. Our lives are there, all the Champions League games, Premier League roundups. We do the lot. And yeah, just make sure you guys love watching us. We love your comments. I just want to take 2-3 quick comments just before we finish. Sashwat with a really interesting comment. He says, just in, the Queen is set to name the 30 attendees for Prince Philip's funeral, but early indications are that Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Jesus, man.
That's good, man.
Bars and all of that.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Gaurav says Sterling to put the final touch off the bench. You heard it here first. Gaurav loves to try and predict the games. He said that I'm going to get, who was it, Musiala wrong last night. He didn't do anything. Bayern got dumped out. But anyway, guys, I think that's about it. I think we're wrapped up. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, first of all. Make sure you click that subscribe button before you leave. We really appreciate the support. Keep watching our videos. Keep supporting us. Follow us on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, but no one really uses Facebook. And we're also on LinkedIn. That's dead. Again, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys and enjoy the Champions League. We'll see you for the next one.
Oh, and one little thing, guys, you'll find the link in the description to the More Than a Game website. There's articles written by guys like me, absolutely elite. You won't get better articles, just like you won't get better content. And if you're watching other pundits, you're doing it wrong. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And we move.